Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. Yesterday, we had another one of these beta males participate in a mass shooting. Now, this Juan Lopez decided he wanted to go to Mercy Hospital in Chicago to confront his girlfriend over a broken engagement. And when things did not go Juan Lopez's way, he took out the gun that he had a concealed carry permit for, and he decided to not only murder the girlfriend who rejected him, but then he decided to go on a mass shooting spree where he killed a doctor and he wound up murdering a rookie police officer before the police possibly took his life or he took his own life. And when I take a critical look at this recent mass shooting that transpired in Chicago, it proves my points regarding these beta males, and it also proves my point regarding the whole argument of we needing stricter gun control laws. Now, when I look at the argument for the stricter gun control laws, this is a moot point because this Juan Lopez had a concealed carry permit for the gun that he had legally. So we cannot legislate this mass shooting problem in America away with stricter gun control laws. The real problem that is leading to all of these beta males participating in all of these mass shootings with this incident and one in Colorado leading up to what the statistics are saying is the 314th mass shooting here in America just in 2018 alone has to do with the way we are raising boys here in America. And the way we have been raising boys here in America over the last 50 years is we have been raising boys primarily in these single mother households. And because we've been raising boys in single mother households, the reason why these boys are participating in these mass shootings is because they don't know how to think. They only know how to feel, and because they feel bad, they decide to participate in these horrific acts of violence. Now, this Juan Lopez probably thought that this woman was his world. He probably put this woman on a pedestal, and when she decided to break the engagement, that's when your Juan Lopez became the psycho simp who decided he was going to destroy this woman because she destroyed his world, and then he was going to go out and destroy the world around him in a mass shooting. Because as it relates to many of these beta males, oftentimes because they grew up in female-headed households and they grew up in environments where females were their leaders and authority figures, they oftentimes elevate women to high positions, and in their mind, if the woman is happy, they are happy. And if they cannot have the woman being the center of their world, then they want to destroy the world all around them. This is the classic beta male frame of thinking, because when it comes down to the beta male, women are the center of their world. Women are the center of their life. And if they cannot have that woman in their life, they will go out of their way to destroy that woman and then destroy the world around them. And this frame of thinking, again, comes from boys who were primarily raised in single mother households with female authority figures. But no one in America wants to confront anybody about this issue. They would rather try to turn this into a gun control issue when it's not a gun control issue. And the reason why they want to deflect to the gun control issue is because most people in America, whether it be big business, feminists, or politicians, don't want to confront women about the way we are raising boys here in America over the last 50 years, because feminists told us that we did not need a father in the home to raise a boy to become a man, and that women could raise boys to become men. But we see from the statistics, if you study them like I have when I was doing research for my book, The Man Crisis, that the increase of mass shootings started in the mid 80s with the rise of the single parent household, and the number only started to increase in the 1990s, the 2000s, and the 2010s as we grew to have more single mother households. And today, 1 in 3 boys grows up in a home without a father. And as boys grow up without fathers, we're starting to see not only an increase in these mass shootings, but an increase in the frequency of these mass shootings. In 2018, we've had almost 315 of these mass shootings, practically one almost every day. And people wonder how we're going to stop these mass shootings. And again, this is not a gun control issue, because most of these men purchased their weapons legally. But the problem is, many of these boys, as they were growing up, either grew up without fathers, and they didn't learn those male life skills that would help them survive in the world. And one of the male life skills that your Juan Lopez probably never learned was how to navigate through his emotions, because a man, when he breaks up with a female, has to learn how to navigate through his emotions. Yes, you are going to be hurting. Yes, you are going to be in pain. But while you hurt and in pain, you learn how to move your life forward. And that means learning how you can have these feelings, but you don't act on your feelings. And the beta male, because he has learned to have emotions like a woman, what he does is he acts on impulse, like this Juan Lopez did, and decide to confront women who want nothing to do with him. Whereas a man who has learned how to navigate through his emotions, when a woman breaks up with him, he's going to either put himself into his work, go out to the gym, or if he has a little bit more confidence, what he's going to do is go out and try to seek out another relationship with another woman, or he's going to just go out here and find something else to do with himself, because he understands his value as a man, and he understands that there are other women out there if this woman does not want him. Because healthy men do not put women on pedestals, they don't make women their world, and they don't make women their world to the point where if this woman is gone, they have to destroy her and destroy the world around him. But beta males, because they are raised primarily in female-headed households, this is what leads to these men going out here and putting these women far above themselves. And when they make this woman a god, what happens is, when the god rejects them, they want to then destroy the god and destroy the world around them. And this is the problem when you have boys being raised primarily by women. These boys don't have any balance, and they don't have a balanced perspective of the world. And this is why we again are seeing this not only increase in mass shootings and a increase in the frequency of mass shootings. And what's scary is, again, most Americans don't want to deal with what the real issue is, because they're afraid of upsetting and alienating women. Well, I have to say this: we have to deal with this, because her women's feelings aren't important here, because when people are losing their lives, we have to make changes to society so that these boys learn how to grow up to become healthy men. Because the way we are raising boys is leading to them growing up to become these mass shooters. And we're going to see way more of these incidents, because in a country where 1 in 3 boys is growing up without a father, we have almost 66 or 2/3% of the men in America learning how to act and behave like a woman and not learning the life skills that will teach them to become a healthy man. Feminists back in the 1960s and 1970s thought that a woman could raise a boy to be a man on their own, and this has clearly been proven wrong by the increase in frequency of mass shootings and the statistics that clearly show an uptick in mass shooting with the correlation of the rise of the single parent household. So when we look at the statistics, they show us that a woman cannot raise a boy to be a man on her own because there are certain life skills and survival skills only a man can teach a boy, because the way the world works for men is completely different than the way it works for women. And a boy who has female survival skills is not going to know how to set a course for himself in the world or how to deal with problems in the world, because his model for manhood is a woman, and his approach to dealing with problems is the exact same way a woman would deal with a problem. And the way these beta males deal with problems is by acting on their feelings and then going out to murder people as they have these adult meltdowns because the world didn't go the way they wanted and life didn't go the way they expected. And that's the way a child acts when they throw a temper tantrum, and that's not the way a man behaves. But these men don't know how to behave like men because they were never taught to be men by men. They were taught to be men by women. And no one in America, again, wants to confront this problem because if we were to confront this problem in the way it needs to be confronted, by one, investing resources in men, two, changing the way we present men in media, where we present balanced masculine images of men like we saw on Netflix's Luke Cage, and three, showing value in men like fathers, we would have to change the complete dynamics of American society. And in a gynocentric society like America, where everything benefits the female, this is something that women don't want done. And this is something corporate America doesn't want to do because they primarily get their money from a consumer-based economy where women give 2/3 of their money back to corporate businesses. And if men are invested in, that means that the supply of money is going to be cut off for big business. So they would rather have people lose loved ones in their lives in these mass shootings that these beta males participate in rather than deal with the man crisis going on here in America. But if they don't deal with this man crisis that's going on here in America, what's going to happen is you're going to have eventually an economic collapse because these beta males, they are going to make America so unsafe with their violent meltdowns that they participate in that no one will be able to live. And if these men cannot function, then women won't be able to get their jobs or their resources from men because beta males don't know how to deal with life. And if they don't know how to deal with life, they don't know how to build anything or maintain anything in a civilization. And this is the big problem that most people are having regarding these mass shooters. They see them as isolated incidents when they're all interconnected, and they're all interconnected due to the way we have been raising boys here in America. And if we don't change the way we raise boys here in America, there may not be an America sooner rather than later. If you want to learn why a lot of these beta males participate in these mass shootings and the reasons why many men are just falling apart here in America, you can pick up my new book, The Man Crisis, in paperback and ebook. And if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read The Man Crisis for free. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.